Venerable Richmond, Virginia, capital of the Confederacy, also has a great racing heritage. Besides historic attractions, there was a mile dirt oval here before World War I. Compare that with this. Now, you think of Richmond as stock car country, but the old Strawberry Hill Speedway hosted the likes of Johnny Parsons and Bill Holland, Indy 500 winners both, and Jimmy Bryan too, and their Offie-powered sprint cars. Their stock car counterparts included the King, Richard Petty. His career spanned the paving of what became Richmond Fairgrounds Raceway, and this was one wild place throughout the 80s. The legends of modern Winston Cup all came here, took a shot at this place. A lot of them took their licks on the half-mile bull ring. None would match Petty's record of Richmond success. So it's fitting that the King began the reconstruction of a state-of-the-art speed palace. And tonight, Richmond International Raceway comes full circle. The open-wheel heroes who have thrilled the Thunder crowds for a decade come back to the very site where the Offies roared nearly 50 years ago. They have big hearts and a whole lot of horsepower. Brave souls and the will to win. Any night of the week, they are still the local heroes. And they live for the sound of thunder. The place is Richmond. The picture is live. The USAC Championship twins have come to town, and what a night it promises to be. Big Saturday night crowd gathered here in the heart of stock car country. You might anticipate they were turning out for the bull ring stock car race. Not so tonight. This is a much different show at this magnificent Speed Palace. We're going to kick it off with the True Value USAC Silver Crown cars. I'll tell you more about the cars, but first let me show you some of the guys that are here. Back there, JP, Johnny Parsons. Dad raced here when it was an old dirt track. Right here, Jack Hewitt. This is the winningest guy in this division. Clear back here in the back. You're not going to believe how far in the back. I'm going to show you how far in the back. Take a walk with me here while I tell you that these cars weigh 1,400 pounds. They make 700 horsepower. Figure it out. Pole went at 130 miles an hour, the fastest cars that run on this three-quarter-mile speedway, and they're going to do 134 laps tonight. I guarantee you it's going to be wild. Hi, folks. You ready to have a good time? Over here, 58 car, that's Liquid Lou Saccone, and he's got one of our two onboard cameras. It's a long way to the back where Parsons and those guys are, and up here somewhere, we're going to find one of my all-time heroes. He was the champion of this series back in 1971. That's the first year they ran the thing. Am I going to find him here? Yeah, he's all buckled in talking on the radio already. George Snyder, can I ask you a quick question? What do you think of this new racetrack?
I think it's really great, Dave. This is probably one of the nicest facilities I've ever seen in my life.
You going to have some fun tonight?
Well, I sure hope so. We haven't been doing real well today, but I hope it changes for the future.
13th starting spot for the man, Ziggy. He's got a little ways to go to the front as well. All the way up at the front of the two more guys I want to talk to. One of them has a chance to make some history here this evening. Only once in USAC history has anybody done the back-to-back-to-back consecutive victories in 3 different divisions, midget, sprint, and Silver Crown cars. Here's the guy who has a chance to do it. He did the doubleheader last weekend with a midget and sprint win. Tony Stewart, tonight the Silver Crown victory. Can you pull it off?
Well, I hope so. You know, the Bulls, Glenn Eibel V6, hopefully we can get it up front there. This is the best we've qualified in the Silver Crown division in a long time, and I think starting up this front or this far forward, I don't have to pass 20 cars like I'm used to doing in the Silver Crown cars, so hopefully we can pull it off.
He didn't think I was ever going to get here so he could put that helmet on and go to work. Pole sitter said, interview me quick, because I'm going to go out and run away from these guys. He qualified at 130 miles an hour. Jim Keeker, we finally make it all the way from the back to wish you good luck on this run. That is so fast. Tell me about the tire situation here tonight.
I think we're going to have to keep the car really straight, and if these guys want to get racy in the beginning, I'm going to let them. I'm just going to drive her as fast as I can, as straight as I can, and hopefully we'll be there at the end.
All right, good luck, man. That is Jim Keeker. He'll start from the pole. That's the story down here. The guy's way up there on top of this beautiful racetrack to call the action. The Gary and Larry Show. Gary Lee and the 3-time USAC national champion, Larry Rice. Let's go do it.
Thanks, Dave. Hi, everybody. Hey, the last time we were on the air at Winchester, it was cold, it was raining. What a gorgeous day, a great crowd. Nice to be back with the Thunder, a special edition. Now, Larry, when we go to a new racetrack, it takes some time to get acclimated for the drivers. But I tell you what, this Richmond facility offers up a lot of challenges.
Well, there's really three main challenges. Number one is turn 2. This racetrack is big, wide, it's beautiful. But coming off that 14-degree bank onto the flat back straightaway on turn 2, it wants to unload the race car and suck it up towards the fence. The drivers are going to have to be careful to stay out of that fence in turn 2. The second thing is tires. The race cars are loaded almost all the way around. This is a D-shaped racetrack. Those tires might get really hot. They might have to make a pit stop. Plenty of them are really worried that they're going to have to make a pit stop. Keeker doesn't think he was going to, but some of the other guys do. The third thing is driver fatigue. Again, because it's a D shape, there's only 3 seconds down that back straightaway that the drivers have a chance to rest. The other hour and 15 minutes, they're going to be working very, very hard. And if driver fatigue is going to be a big problem near the end of the race.
These guys run 100-lap races on the mild dirt bull rings, but they have long straightaways and kind of relax and flex the fingers. Now, another aspect that I'm concerned about is the fuel situation. They practice, they qualify with very little fuel. They start the race with 75 gallons directly behind the cockpit. That's 500 additional pounds.
And it's all behind the rear axle that makes the car want to push. They're going to have to be very careful the first few laps, get a handle on what's going on, and stay out of trouble.
Dave, that means you have to race with this as well as the horsepower.
All right, we want to join all the fans here at Richmond. They've given me the PA microphone. It's just like where I started. Hello, folks. Thunderheads, glad to see you here at this beautiful racetrack joining our ESPN telecast tonight. It is my privilege to say hi to the man who made this place what it is today, and he's going to say the words we all want to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the patriarch of the Sawyer family who have created Richmond International Raceway, Paul Sawyer. Paul?
Thank you. Well, one of the most famous words in auto racing, maybe I'm copying Ray Melton, gentlemen, start your engines.
Now, before we turn them loose, I want to hear from a guy who's going to watch this race in the motorhome at Michigan International Speedway tonight, but bad wanted to say hey to some old friends.
Oh, certainly, man. I mean, I'm up here in Michigan. I'm definitely going to be watching because I wish that I could have run a Silver Crown car, midget, or sprint car at Richmond. You guys are going to have a lot of fun. I'll definitely be watching, and, you know, I try to watch every Saturday night and every Thursday night Thunder that I can, and I'm with you. All my guys are following you guys and looking at you young guys that are coming up, and look forward to racing with you someday.
I tell you what, Gordon, we're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. The Silver Crown cars are rolling. A long-awaited moment at Richmond International Raceway. Coverage of the Silver Crown cars at Richmond, brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Wagner, maker of quality power painting and decorating tools designed to make your job faster and easier. Tell you what, Thunderheads, good to be back. 24 drivers qualified through their time trial, 6 more through the last chance qualifier, 30 cars in the field with the starting and lineup, Gary and Larry.
Well, Dave, once again on the pole, you talk with him. Jimmy Keeker qualified a track record 130.845 alongside Chuck Gurney in car number 14, a former champion of this division. And there is the guy going for the triple. Tony Stewart starts inside the second row, outside Mike Bliss, a former champion of this division. In the third row on the inside, Andy Michener at 127.8, and Randy Tolsma, third in the point standings last year, 127 miles an hour. Davey Hamilton back from his crash at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and outside, Tony Elliott in number 18. In row 5 on the inside, there is Paul Durant in car number 95, and Jimmy Sills, your defending Silver Crown champion, outside in Mopower. In the 6th row on the inside, there is Ziggy. George Snyder, his 111th career start in this division, and Brad Knopfsinger outside 94. In the 7th row, Dave Darlin. He won at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in May in this division, and Richard Griffin starts outside in 53. The 8th row, Rocky Hodges inside, outside, Tony Steele. In the 9th row on the inside, after a engine change. Eric Gordon, and outside is Lou Ciccone with the camera car. In the 10th row, Jim Mahoney rode a motorcycle here from Illinois to race this weekend. Bentley Warren in 29. The 11th row, Doty and Staub. Row 12, Hewitt won the last chance qualifier. Gary Heber. Then it's Gibson and Bloom. Row 14, Carlson and Parsons. And row 15, rounding out the field, Leary and Runyon. We should get the green flag this time by Jim Keeker on the pole with a track record. Wally Shear has the green flag out. We are racing. Look at that. 3 wide into turn 1.
And it was Tony Stewart in that yellow car that fell way back. He started in 3rd. He scored back to about 10th or 11th position. Did not get a very good start at all. Don't know what happened. He seems to pick up and got back up to speed now, but it really cost him on that initial start.
Well, there you're riding with Tony directly behind the Stills number 75 to the front of the pack, and your leader in number 14 is Chuck Gurney. Gurney made a comment earlier after the first round of practice that he really had trouble catching up to the racetrack. The racetrack was so deceivingly fast.
Well, that's right. This racetrack really is hard to learn. Some of the guys did not come down here testing the open practice, and it took a little more time to catch up with everybody.
Well, Keeker, who set the pole, started from the pole, starts in 2nd position right now, being challenged for that spot by Mike Bliss. Mike Bliss only running the pavement series right now. He has a super truck ride, so he is battling for the 2nd position. That's Bliss, the champion 2 years ago, told him in the 3rd position already. Told him make that 4th position, car number 61.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Chuck Gurney jump out there in front. He's one of the few guys that are on Goodyears. There are 7 guys who elected to go with Goodyears. Everybody else went with Hoosier tires here today. Gurney jumped right out into the lead, but Keeker, after he got a little feel for that race car, seems to be sneaking back up on him right now.
Well, there is Keeker once again out in front. He tested for Hoosier here, and he was the fastest in the test session as he challenges for the lead. Looks to the low side of Gurney. Gurney, a 12-time winner in Silver Crown competition, won the title back in '89, but here comes Keeker to the inside, and Keeker told us he will run at his pace. If somebody else wants to lead, and it's fast as he wants to go, the other person can lead. But right now, Keeker must be up the front.
Well, he does. He went right on around him. It looks like right now he's very, very comfortable. I think everybody's concerned about not sliding around. Everybody wants to keep those tires on the race cars. They don't want to overheat them early in the race, so they're taking it a little bit easy. Maybe Gurney felt like he had just a little bit too much for it and just backed off and was going to let him go at their pace for a while.
Well, Tony Stewart made the comment it was nice to start up in front. Something happened right at the start. He lost a number of positions, but now he apparently is back on pace. Tony right now 7th in the point standings. He's 2nd in the sprints, 2nd in the midgets, but he's 7th in Silver Crown points. There is Tolman, the white 61, directly behind that black and pink number 69 of Mike Bliss. You can see as the cars come off that second corner, they're sucked up to that outside wall.
Yeah, as you can see right there, it's Tony Stewart in the yellow car on the inside. He has really picked up the pace. He got it going. Whatever the problem was in the start, doesn't seem to be a big problem right now. And he's back up in the 7th position after pulling quarterback as far as 11th.
Pulled to the inside of Davey Hamilton. You're riding now with Stewart. He gets by Hamilton, moves up a position, and that is Jimmy Sills in the 75 car directly in front. That is Mo Power. That's Chrysler powered.
That's the only Chrysler powered car. It's the only one I've seen in Silver Crown racing ever, and that thing really has run pretty good. Gary Sampson worked out a deal with the Mopar people, and they seem to have that thing going pretty good. We have a variety of engines here. We have 3 V6s, we have 3 Fords, as well as the Mopar powered cars.
And a V6 you're riding with right now, Tony Stewart. He rides in the Glenn Nibel built V6, and he is up to 5th position. Look at this, 3 wide into turn 3.
Wow, that is close back there. 3 guys. We said this was big and wide and racy, but 3 wide is pretty racy. It's a place to go.
6 had to transfer through the last chance qualifier, and of course that was won by Jack Hewitt, who started 11th, but did not qualify all that well, but it's almost consistent with his racing. He may not qualify well, but towards the end of one of these races, he's usually up in front because he's won 17 times.
That's right. Right here we see Jimmy Keeker. He's still out of the lead. He's pulled out into half a straightaway lead right at this point of the race, but Chuck Gurney still running in 2nd position.
So Keeker apparently likes the way the car is handling right now, still able to conserve that right rear tire, and the race continues. We're coming back to Richmond. Stay with us.